Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. It's 6:22 a.m. and it's time to shine a spotlight on legacy.
Back in the spotlight this morning is the Human Resource Management Association of Trinidad and Tobago. And we're getting ready for the 2025 Legacy Awards and Hall of Fame ceremony. It's happening later on in November, but to find out a little bit more, let's welcome the president of HERMAT, Cavell Joseph St. Omer, and also Long, the director of membership at HERMAT. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are we doing this morning?
We're great.
You're good. You're showing good this morning.
I want to make sure you good.
All right, tell me about the HERMAT Legacy Awards. It would have launched in 2022. But tell me why HERMAT felt it was so important to begin this, and how has the event evolved since 2022?
Well, we started off in 2022. Mainly as a board, we felt that it was time to recognize the work that HR professionals were doing. We were fresh out of COVID, or I should say, at least now coming out of it and recovering. And HR really performed during that time, just like nurses and doctors, where we stepped up to the plate and we led our respective organizations implement new policies and procedures to guide us through this pandemic. And when we recognized the work that HR professionals have been doing over the years, we felt the time had come now for us to create this specific awards to now give the accolades and the flowers and everything that is due to HR professionals. We've been shaping cultures, we've been developing people, we've been influencing the workspaces for many years, and we felt it was time to elevate the profession, create a new ecosystem of HR professionals where we could all feel inspired and motivated to give of our very best. And this forum provided the exact platform for us to do that. So over the years, I mean, we started off in 2022, and we were recognizing back then just the founders, the 6 founders who started this off. HERMAT.
Who started off HERMAT?
Yes, started off HERMAT. Gordon Draper, Anthony Watkins, Glenn Wilson, Maxine Barnett, and a few others, Corinne Jones, Lisa James. So the awards, those awards were named after the founders for the areas of specialty that they were in. And then, of course, volunteerism. We have the 7th award being the HERMAT, the Volunteer of the Year Award. Again, noting that, of course, as an organization, we're not paid. This is all volunteer work. So you've seen me here doing all of this, but it's not a paid gig. So therefore, how do we recognize our volunteers for the time, effort, and dedication to the profession? So that was year 1, and that's the spark, as we say. Then we built some momentum and incorporated the Caribbean. So we introduced 2 Caribbean awards for the HR organization and HR professional across the region. So we, I guess, brought in our Caribbean brothers and sisters into the picture. And of course, we saw nominations expanding at that point in time, and the level of interest growing. And by year 3, we incorporated the Hall of Fame. So last year, in celebration of our 35th anniversary, and again, noting that we've had some lifetime achievers who've dedicated years toiling in the sun. They were the first for many things and paved the way for people like myself and Ultra. So we created the Hall of Fame, and we inducted our first Hall of Famers last year in recognition of our 35th anniversary.
And now this year we're going to induct some new people into the Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken, yeah? Also, tell me what this honor represents and how the inductees were selected.
All right, so in terms of the Hall of Famers, so as Cavell said, these are persons who would have paved the way. They would have, you know, done their best in terms of landing, in terms of HR, within their particular spheres. So between ourselves, in terms of the board and the committee, we would have identified, you know, who are these persons, who are these stalwarts, as we would say in HR, who would have, you know, developed policies, paved the way, changed, transformed, you know, organizations, ministries, the organizations that they would worked in. And definitely we would have, you know, identified some key persons for sure. I mean, last year, the first tranche of our Hall of Famers saw stalwarts like Diana Mahabir Wyatt and Ulrich James posthumously. We had Grace Talma, etc. So these are persons who were identified in HR. When you hear these names, you know for sure that these are, you know, in their own like compensation and benefits and IR, etc. So definitely, you know, just the committee between ourselves, we would have identified who these persons are, and we look forward to, you know, inducting some more Hall of Famers into
Is there like a long list and then you're short, no?
Yes, we do. We do have, you know, we do come up with, you know, some names, and then of course between ourselves, we would then, you know, just, you know, do some research with respect to, you know, seeing, you know, what would be best in terms of identifying the persons, and definitely, yeah.
Yeah, tell me who on the list for 2025?
Well, we can't say just yet. We actually want to do that in a grand way, so we do have that.
What grander way than the Now Morning Show also? I don't understand. How does it get more grand than this? You're live on national television with the world watching. You don't want to tell us who's being recognized in 2025? Give me one, just one.
Should we?
We can give him one.
You see?
Give him one.
I guess you gave right this morning. Give me one.
Sure.
It's coming out in the newspaper next Monday, but
People are still reading newspaper. Everybody's watching Now Morning Show. You know. Give me one. Just give me one also. Just give me one. I'm begging here.
so we do have
Drum roll. You can get a drum roll.
we
going.
have Dr. Nan Ramgulam.
Nice.
Yes,
We taking that.
she will be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Doc.
Well, I was good with another one.
Yes, you see, but
No,
go ahead.
no,
Don't let us stop you. Don't let a simple thing like one name that happened already stop you.
We go with Dr. Nan Ramgulam.
All right. As far as the individual award categories go, can you tell us what kinds of achievements of contributions are being recognized in this 2025 edition?
Yes, so we do have the Gordon Draper Award for Public Service.
Right.
And again, public service is often overlooked because people don't often value the work that public servants do or recognize that innovation also takes place in the public service. They only see it as private sector.
Right.
But there's a lot of fantastic work being done by some of our HR professionals and leaders in the public service in general. And again, the awards are geared towards not only HR professionals, but I often come to the show and say it's all about people management and
Right.
people development. So a CEO, a head of the department that has a leader, human-centric approach will be
They would qualify
recognized.
as well.
Yes, they
Okay.
would qualify as well.
Nice.
So you have that, you have the industrial relations, the Glenn Wilson Award for Industrial Relations as well. And again, a field in HR or a segment in HR where people tend to shy away from because it's very confrontational, and often they're persons who are fearful of meeting and treating with the unions. And we've been
Why is that?
changing well, I think the tone is often very
aggressive
in nature. And it depends on your style, your leadership style. Because for me, I've dealt with the unions in the past. And even with the current Minister of Labour, we've negotiated against each other in the past. And I can tell you, those negotiations went well because it was more dealing with crisis, and the communication was good, and we worked well recognizing where the company was and what we were trying to achieve on behalf of their members.
Right.
So it's all based on style, and you could diffuse an antagonistic environment based on your personality as well too. So
Well, we have to be honest about it. It helps when you're a woman dealing with a man, no?
no, because
Because
I
you
can
can turn
tell
on
you,
the charm. If you turn on the charm, your party done.
charm.
No, it don't work. You don't get to.
Charm.
I literally, a woman told me that the other day, she's like, she can, and I don't mean like charm in terms of using like any sexual or anything like that.
No, I understand
just
what
mean
you
in terms of
mean.
you put on a nice smile, and all of a sudden, all that aggression just goes out the window.
I can
Not
tell you,
necessarily.
No?
some of our colleagues have left negotiation room in tears.
For real?
Yes. So, no, it have nothing to do with charm. But again, personality and communication. And once you have frequent communication, like we incorporated in my past organization, quarterly meetings, we call it crisis meetings, so that things don't escalate to actually become a crisis.
Right.
So by the time you meet at the table, we're all familiar with the issues, we're well aware of the position of the company, and they know that I'm not fabricating a story when I say we can't afford this, but we can do this. So therefore, you know, it's
And
style.
I think that's an important part
Yeah.
of the balance of HR is we can't do this, but what we can do is
Yes.
and give me something to work with. I feel like
Yes.
oftentimes people have a challenge where they tell me no and full stop.
So it was someone like Glenn Wilson who he was also at this stage in his life. He just retired as a judge in the industrial court as well too. So being recognized as an industrial relations practitioner, to me at least that would be a great honor. And then you have the Lisa James Awards, the Maxine Barnett Award for HR leadership as well to overall, the Corinne Jones Award. I mean, there's so much happening in this space. Also identify the process for the Hall of Famers, but for these awards, it's open nominations and it goes to an auditing firm.
Okay.
So the board is not involved at all. And I say that because I don't want people to say Cavell just giving awards to her friends.
Exactly, that's the first thing they will say.
Right? Because we are familiar with most of the practitioners. So therefore we've outsourced, we've outsourced that. So the report, actually, we should receive that report this week. It was open, nominations was open for a month, and then they spent another month doing their background checks, reference checks, and we get a detailed report with their advice to us about who should be selected for the award, and we accept the report. So, so there's a difference in terms of how we treat with Hall of Famers versus
of course.
Those awards.
And the event is happening on the 29th of November.
Correct.
Is it open to the public to attend?
Of course it is.
Tell me who would be the ideal person, or why should somebody come to attend the Hermat
Right, definitely.
Awards?
So anybody that is very cognizant about leadership and people, recognizing excellence, recognizing legacy. So HR professionals, of course, business professionals, business leaders. These are the type of personnel that you will find in the room with respect to our Hermat Legacy Awards. So, and of course, if you're a member of the public and you're interested in that, and of course you dress well, because of course it's a formal event. All right. Definitely you're invited to come.
Make sure you dress well.
It's a formal event.
That part is key. Is there a cost to attend?
Definitely. So for members, once you're a Hermat member, it's $1,000 per person. And then if you are not a potential member, we like to call you a potential member, it will then be $1,300 per person. And then we also have group packages. So we have a corporate table of members for $9,000. And then for the potential members, that corporate table is $11,000.
Okay.
Yes.
And if people are the potential members, if they want to become a member before the 29th, how can they do so?
Definitely. So they can reach out to our secretariat, secretariat@hermat.com. You can also call them at 687-5523. You can call me directly as well, and definitely they will give you the information with respect to registering. You can go on our website, www.hermat.com, and check out our membership page. You can apply online, and then, of course, we will take you through the process. It's just $450.
To register?
VAT inclusive.
Is that per year or is that just
per year?
Okay.
Yes, so it's a yearly subscription.
All right, fantastic.
Yes.
Cavell, before we wrap, tell us some of the benefits of being a member of Hermat.
I mean, there's so many. Where do I start?
Just a couple, Of
course, I mean, you get access to a lot of our leadership programs. We are, in fact, the licensed person agents for the SHRM certification. We encourage HR professionals to become certified. It's an international certification, and it incorporates best practice and standards. There's also access to our C-suite conversations, our whole curated events and activities where you get, again, first-hand access at membership rates, networking opportunities, of course, to share templates and access to court judgments and things like that. We are trying to create a community, essentially. So that way you don't have to often reinvent the wheel. Sometimes HR professionals need support, and we try to support our colleagues and our members as best as we can. So whether it's sharing information, giving advice, creating spaces where you could talk freely about issues and access some of the best talent in the space as well in the room, because we try to source the best practitioners to facilitate our programs. Then, of course, we're very much involved in the Caribbean space. Hermat recognized that we can't take this journey alone. We want to make sure across the region now we incorporate the same practice and values across our region with our counterparts. We recognized recently 4 territories within the Caribbean, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, and St. Vincent, they fully adopted CSME, which is another thing that our professionals should be aware of. The free movement of people without any need for a work permit or for any certificate that says now you could work. So that's movement between these 4 territories. We're hoping the rest of the region will follow suit as well. So that way it makes it easy for talent to be shared and to fertilize across the region, you know, the knowledge. Yeah, build it. Yeah.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you very much for joining us this morning and for sharing this knowledge. If you want to get some more information about the Legacy Awards or generally some more information about Hermat as well, they're going to be on Talk City 91.1 FM later on this morning for Hermat Speaks at 11 a.m. So you can tune in and get more information. Cavell, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Osha, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Same to you.
too.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we come back with more information right here on the Now Morning Show. Stick around.
You must know we were same, I say.